Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about I already did a video on fishing gear for commercial fishing. This is going to be a video on just my recommended gear or good gear for Alaska, just living in Alaska. Like if you're moving to Alaska and you want to know what to expect, or just good gear to keep you from being miserable on adventures and stuff. So anyways, I'm just gonna hop into it here. Stay dry. That's my biggest suggestion. I'm from Southeast Alaska, and I don't know if you've heard, but it rains a ton here. It's one of the rainiest places in the world. I've had people who live like up in Fairbanks or northern Alaska where they live in 40, 50 below zero weather in the winter, and they've come down here, and our average temperature in the winter is like 30, 35, 40 degrees. But we have like slushy, rainy snow all the time, and I've had people come down here hunting that are used to those horribly cold temps, and they're like, I almost froze to death. I thought I was gonna die because of how stinking cold that like bone chilling wet cold gets into you. So here's my tips for, like, if you're like me, you're either a hiker or a hunter or just an adventurer. Like I'm into snowboarding, snowmobiling, and where I'm at, there's no resorts, no nothing. Like it's all, you're doing it on your own, backcountry stuff. So I do hunting, guiding, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, here's some gear. Like on the fishing side of things, like summertime and everything. In my fishing video, I brought up like getting good Grundens or Helly Hansen rain gear, just pure rain gear, is a good idea, because you're just gonna have those downpour days where you still want to go do something. You still want to go fish for trout in a creek, or just even working outside. You need to cut your firewood, you need to work on your truck. It's good gear to have. It's not breathable, it's rain gear. It's just made to keep you dry in a downpour. So that kind of stuff. Getting a good rubber boot. Everyone's used to Extra Toughs. Extra Toughs are great on one hand. Their quality has gone way downhill since they have switched over to being made over in China. So now that they're made overseas, they are crap boots in my opinion. My last pair lasted me 2 months, blew out. So I don't know if I'll be buying another pair of Extra Toughs. I'm a huge fan in the fishing side of things of the Grundens Deck Boss boots. Those are amazing boots. Grundens nailed it with those boots. They're super comfortable, and I've had mine for 4+ seasons now fishing, and they're just great boots. They haven't blown out on me where I was going through 2 pairs of Extra Toughs a year. So 4 years, that's pretty good. And that's just strictly using it on a boat. I use it a little bit, go trout fishing or something in the summer, but I don't do a ton of hiking in them. My preferred hiking hunting boot is right here. I'll show it to you. It's just the Lacrosse Thinsulate. I think it's like 3M Thinsulate boot. Really nice, keeps me warm in 0 degrees, slushy, snowy, whatever. Keeps my feet warm, really breathable, comfortable boot, lightweight, just a really great boot. I wear I probably put 60, 70 miles a year in these type of boots. And I go through 1 pair a year, just flat out. I do so much hiking, especially during the deer season here. I'm hiking anywhere from 3 to 10 miles a day in them through really crappy, harsh country. Like I blew out this deer season alone. I blew out a pair of Extra Toughs. I blew out brand new pair of Cabela's like muck style boots. This pair of Lacrosse boots, and I think that's all I blew out this season. Yeah, so I've just been limping along, patching them up and stuff. But one of them, I sent a stick right through my new pair of Cabela's boots, and yeah, sucks. But I patched them up, and they've got me through. And Cabela's is an awesome choice, because they have their warranty on their boots, which is pretty good. I would say it's pretty close, but I think Lacrosse has the edge on Cabela's on the rubber boots, but they're also a more expensive boot. So you got a price point, warranty versus no warranty. I just personally, the fit and the feel of lacrosse and the lighter weight is really nice for me. So yeah, there's the boots for most of Alaska. And then you have your winter time, which depending on where you're at, I'm just going to suggest from my experience in like the cold I'm used to, which, like 5-10 below zero is the worst I've ever been in, really. I mean, I've been in colder up north in the winter, but not like doing extreme outdoor stuff. So lately this year I got a brand new pair of the FXR X Cross Speed Boot for snowmobiling. These are awesome. I love these boots. They are super comfortable, they're lightweight, they lace up super tight, and super grippy, awesome tread, and keep my feet on fire basically when I'm out snowmobiling and doing stuff. And the cool part is I haven't tried it yet. I'll do a video on it if we ever get more snow again, but I'm gonna take my snowboard out with me and I am going to try snowboarding with this boot. I think it's stiff enough that I'll be able to use this boot as my dual purpose when I want to ride into the backcountry on my snow machine and snowboard down. So highly recommend this boot. It's an affordable boot. You can get on Amazon. That's where this is from. Got shipped right to me. Great boot. Really suggest it. Shout out to them for a high quality boot in my opinion, and a good price point. So yeah, there's the footwear side of things. On the like hunting gear, most of your time gear, I'm a personal fan. I love Sitkagear with Gore-Tex. They have a lot of great options. Kuyu's, same founder, same type of stuff, but I'm a Sitkagear fan. I have several sets of Sitkagear. It's expensive gear, but it took my hunting from like here to way up here. I mean, the weather and the crap I can go out in now and stay out all day long without getting cold and wet and miserable and frankly in trouble. I mean, there's times where you're hiking back out in the dark or something and you're like, man, if I twist my ankle or something happened, before I used to wear Sitkagear, it's like, I'm going to freeze to death and it's going to happen fast. So since I've been wearing Sitkagear, it is awesome. I really love the Sitkagear Thunderhead gear. It's soft. It's like fleece on the outside and it's waterproof. Mine I've had for like 7 years now, and unfortunately the gear's pretty much toast at this point. They've replaced, and that's another thing I will say about Sitkagear, is they've replaced several sets of pants for me already with Thunderhead gear. Awesome stuff. I was so happy when they did that because I was midway through my hunting season and I couldn't wait to have it sent off in their repair warranty. And I told them I'd send the pants off, and they were just like, hey, you're in the middle of your season, keep it. Here's a new set of pants. Like, we want you to be out there hunting. So that was really awesome. I felt, I'm a nobody, so I was like, wow, that's pretty special that a company would do that. So I'm pretty loyal to Sitkagear. I think they're just awesome. I can't say enough about them. I recommend pretty much any of their gear, especially Gore-Tex stuff for staying dry in Alaska. And I've done everything, sheep hunts, goat hunts, moose hunts, bear hunts. I do everything in it, and it's just sweet gear. Highly recommend it. And I have their Hudson bibs gear, their duck hunting gear. I mean, it's just all great stuff. So just find what fits for you. That's what I suggest on the hunting side of things. On the just day-to-day life type of stuff, like, you don't gotta break the bank. I mean, Columbia has a lot of good rain gear stuff. Just, I suggest fleece over cotton. Fleece keeps you warm, keeps you dry. I have a Stone Glacier jacket. It's like a puffy jacket. I love that. And that's expensive, but you can get cheaper stuff. But I really suggest down. Down's really good, keeping you warm in the fall, winter time. But yeah, fleece, layering, that kind of stuff. Wool, just stay away from cotton. Cotton kills. Cotton's it has its place, and it's not outdoors in Alaska, in my opinion. I might take some flack for that, but it's just it shouldn't be there. Wool, fleece, even down, it gets wet, and it's hard to get that moisture out of it versus fleece and stuff. You're next to a campfire or anything, you dry out so quick. Same with wool, really great. You don't even know you're wet if you do get wet, so it's really good stuff. So yeah, there's that. I could go on and on about different little, what I like snowmobiling versus what I like, goggles or whatever, but there's plenty of videos about that kind of stuff out there. I'm just going over like your basic, I'm moving to Alaska and I want to get some good high quality gear, or just I want to know what type of clothes, what type of gear. So, you move to Alaska and you get invited on that little fishing trip or that hunting trip, or you just want to go camping with your family, but who wants to freeze to death? Who wants to be miserable? And no one, last thing you want to do is take your kids or your wife out or something and have a miserable time camping, and then your enjoyment and love of the outdoors doesn't get passed down to your kids, or your wife doesn't enjoy going out. So just being prepared, stay dry, do everything you can to stay dry. Make sure you got rain gear always, even if the weather says it's not going to rain, have rain gear with you. Have a set of I always, no matter what, I have spare socks, sometimes a pair of spare pants. I always have a spare t-shirt with me in my backpack, no matter what. I don't care how much it weighs, if I'm going on a sheep hunt, goat hunt, what it is. I have spare clothes and spare stuff so I don't end up completely miserable. And half the time I pack spare stuff for everyone else going too. Not everyone, but I pack spare for me and then spare for one more person, because I always count on anybody I'm going with that at least one of the people is going to be unprepared, and maybe I can help make their trip more comfortable, or I might, that might end up saving their life in a bad situation. Someone breaks an ankle or hurts themselves. So highly recommend that. I also recommend, this is not on like the clothing side of things, but if you're moving to Alaska or coming to Alaska, even if you're just coming up for for a summer in an RV or something, get an inReach. The inReach Mini connects to your phone. It's a must-have, in my opinion, these days. It's so great because I spend so much time. I have remote property that there's no cell service, no nothing. And if I want to go spend a day out there, working on my cabin or cutting firewood, doing something, and I want to go by myself, I'm comfortable doing that. But what if scenario? What if I cut my leg? What if something happens? So I carry an inReach on me most of the time, and it helps. My wife's not as worried. My parents weren't as worried when I was younger, that I couldn't contact them. And you can pre-program messages, so it's really easy to send something like, hey, on my way home, everything's good, whatever. And it's really nice knowing that you can hit a button and the U.S. Coast Guard is on their way and can help you out, whether it's just someone's starting to have a heart attack anywhere, or you're out on your boat and you start sinking. It's just a must-have, in my opinion, this day and age. I don't rely on it. Like, I think too many people, they rely on, I have an inReach, so I can go make foolish decisions and not really think about the consequences of the weather, the storm, not bring the extra gear, or not think about these things. That's such a dangerous mistake to your way to think, is that like, this is going to save my life. No, this might save your life, that inReach, that little device. But it's a fallible object. So use your brain, use your common sense, use your ability to go, hey, the weather looks like it could get windy and rainy, but I really don't want to pack a rain jacket, or I don't want to bring this extra stuff. Well, then you shouldn't go, in my opinion. Be prepared, especially if you're the leader of your group, kind of. Like, most of the time I'm the adventure guy who wants to push everybody out the door to go do outdoors things. That's generally my role. And if you're going to do that, I feel like you personally, as that person, have a responsibility to make sure that you don't lead everyone into a very unfun, wet, miserable time, or into a dangerous situation where someone might get hurt and you're not prepared to help. And I'm not even talking like, CPR and medical and whatever. I'm just talking about being able to make rational decisions, and that in reach is your absolute last resort. I mean, I even think about when I go on a hunting trip, I think about who I go with, and I'm like, do I think I could pack them out of this place? If I know someone's, had knee trouble, or if someone's has a back problem, or if someone's had respiratory issues that I'm hunting with or hiking with or whatever, or just physically hasn't been hiking, hasn't really been exercising a ton, and I know they can't keep up with me at the same degree, I've got to plan where I go and how I go about it according to that. I mean, I take a ton of kids out hunting usually, and kids can't go as far as I can't push themselves as hard as I can. And my job is to coax them along when I'm with them, try and keep it fun, but also push them to their limits of like, I can hike that far, or get them that next mile back so they have a cooler adventure or saw something that they could go do. So yeah, I just think being well prepared with your gear, and well prepared in your head and thinking things through, like just don't make dumb decisions. I see so many people, they move up here and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna, they see all the Instagram and YouTubers and stuff that are like, oh, Alaska's so wonderful, and I go on this hike and I do all this stuff, and they don't think about your one hurt foot, your one little mistake away from freezing to death, which not a great way to go. So yeah, just be prepared. Hope this video helps you guys. I hope I hope anyone moving to Alaska or just coming up here for the summer or whatever just comes prepared. Don't rely on cops, troopers, Coast Guard, all of them. Rely on yourself. Learn to think smart. Go into every situation going, I'm the only person that can get me out of this. So if something goes wrong, no one's coming to help me. I think if everyone had that mentality in the world, there'd be a lot less dumb things that happen to people. I mean, there would. I mean, if you went into everything like, okay, this directly, no one can save my butt. Nobody. My parents, my mom, my dad, my sibling, the Coast Guard, the military, no one can save me but myself if things go wrong. So be prepared for that. But at the same time, nothing wrong with having the Coast Guard or someone, letting people know where you went, how far you're going, what time you plan to be back, which is difficult. I mean, I almost never know when I'm going to be back because I'm that person that's like, oh, squirrel, and takes off, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to get back to my truck before dark. And most of the time I do, but I know myself, if I'm hunting by myself or I'm doing something by myself, I know I can push myself really hard, and I can basically run that mile back to the truck if I need to get there before dark, and I can push myself really, really hard. But if I have a 9-year-old kid with me that can't do that, I really got to think ahead, and I got to try and be out of the woods sooner than I want to, which is sucky sometimes, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, so especially with kids. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know anything I missed. I'm sure there's gonna be guys get on here and go, oh, Kuiu or First Light gear is the best, and whatever. They're all really great brands. I'm just personally, I'm a Sitkagear fan, I'm a Grundens fan. I have the gear I like, and I'm just passing that along so you guys can have a more comfortable time in Alaska. So like, subscribe, comment. Really love the support. I'm just trying to build this channel, so thanks.